Churches are meant to be places of peace and sanctuaries where people find solace. But on April 18, 2016, inside the quiet halls of a Texas church, something unthinkable happened. Missy Bevers, a beloved fitness instructor, walked into the building for her early morning boot camp session, completely unaware that someone was already inside, waiting for her. And they weren't there to exercise. They were there to kill. Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. This is the Prime Crime, where we discover and dissect solved and unsolved criminal cases around the world. Today's case takes place in a quiet and low-key community of Midlothian, Texas. The neighborhood is considered relatively safe and perfect for families with kids. However, this sense of safety was broken into pieces on the morning of April 18, 2016. But before we start, we would like to send our condolences to the people affected by the heinous acts committed by this individual. Terry Missy Bevers was a 45-year-old mother of 3, dedicated to her family and passionate about fitness. She ran early morning boot camp classes for Camp Gladiator, helping others transform their lives. Friends described her as strong, energetic, and full of life. But what no one knew was that something dark was lurking just beneath the surface, a sinister presence that would end her life in one of the most bizarre and brutal unsolved murders in Texas history. It was a stormy Monday morning. Missy arrived at Creekside Church just before 5 a.m., preparing to lead her fitness class. But what she didn't know was that someone else was already inside. Someone dressed head to toe in SWAT-style riot gear. And this person was waiting for her. What happened next was fast, savage, and deeply disturbing. The assailant ambushed Missy, attacking her with what investigators believe was a hammer or similar blunt object. The injuries were so vicious that police initially thought she had been shot.
Midlothian Police released 2 new details in the fitness trainer murder investigation. Police are looking for this car, seen on the morning Missy Bevers was murdered near the church where the crime was committed.
But no, this was something else entirely. The killer bludgeoned her to death, striking her again and again, ensuring there was no chance of survival. Blood pooled across the cold church floor as the storm raged outside. And then, just as mysteriously as they had appeared, the killer vanished. But here's where things get even stranger. Because just hours before Missy arrived, surveillance cameras inside the church captured something deeply unsettling, footage that would haunt investigators for years. Now what you're about to see only raises more questions than answers. At 3:50 a.m., this mysterious intruder, dressed in full police SWAT gear, helmet, gloves, and boots, was caught casually roaming the halls of the church. They weren't in a hurry. They weren't panicked. Instead, they wandered from room to room, peering inside, smashing windows with what appeared to be a claw hammer. They even turned doorknobs, testing the locks, as if they were searching for something or someone. But what stands out the most? The way they moved. The suspect had a peculiar, almost robotic gait. Some say a limp. Others believe it was a disguised walk. Either way, it was one of the strangest and most unsettling things investigators had ever seen. And just 1 hour after this eerie footage was captured, Missy walked straight into their trap. By 5 a.m., Missy's students started arriving for class. But instead of a morning workout, they walked into a nightmare. Missy's body lay inside the church, brutally beaten, her fitness gear soaked in blood. There were no signs of forced entry, because the killer was already inside. And the murder weapon? Never found. To this day, the identity of Missy Bevers' killer remains a mystery. Was it a random attack? Or was it personal? Police have the suspect on tape, yet no one has ever come forward with a solid lead. There was no theft, no sexual assault, and Missy had no known enemies. At least, none who would do this. Conspiracy theories and suspects. Over the years, theories have run wild. A targeted murder. Investigators found flirtatious LinkedIn messages between Missy and an unknown man. Some believe she was targeted by a jealous spouse or an enraged rival rather than a random attacker. Brandon Bevers, Missy's husband. While Brandon had an alibi, suspicions arose when his father, Randy Bevers, turned in a blood-stained shirt days after the murder. He claimed it was dog blood, but the timing raised eyebrows. The killer's unusual walk. The suspect's odd gait suggested they had a leg injury, a neurological condition, or were deliberately disguising their walk to avoid recognition. A woman in disguise. Some believe the killer's body shape and movement suggest they may have been a woman wearing tactical gear to appear bulkier, possibly someone Missy knew. A botched burglary. Then there's the idea that it was a botched burglary. But why would a simple thief be dressed in riot gear and wait inside a church for hours? Nothing was stolen, except a life. Contract killing. The suspect moved calmly and methodically, fueling theories that this was a hired hit. But if that's true, who ordered it, and why? It's been nearly a decade, and still, Missy Bevers' case remains unsolved. The killer was brazen enough to appear on camera, yet careful enough to leave no traces of evidence. Someone, somewhere, knows the truth. But until that day comes, Missy's family is left with only questions and an unbearable loss. So what do you think? Was this a targeted killing? Or was Missy just in the wrong place at the wrong time? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more chilling true crime stories like this one, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay safe out there.